Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. This is the Coffee Break Show. I'm Vickie Helm. It's Friday, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. And Friday is the day we celebrate. Friday is the day we share things with people, and we say, I accomplished this week. Hey, Robert, everybody, thank you for coming on. I see you coming on board. How is everyone? Glad to see you. Today is Friday. And today is the day we get to celebrate our week. We've accomplished some things. Maybe they were hard, maybe they were easy, maybe they were good. And we get to celebrate for a moment just having that momentum that we had for the week. And so we can plan next week. Howdy, everyone. It's so glad to see you. So glad that you're on. Barb, Robert, thank you for being here. So one of the important things that I learned about this week, that I saw for myself, that I really want to share with you, I want to share with you this kind of epiphany I had. And the epiphany I had was that we, as the human experience, we enjoy becoming. We enjoy becoming, and we have a natural sense of curiosity in every person. So we don't want to become so we're better and better and better and better. That's what our mind has turned it into. But if you're just listening in, we enjoy the process of learning and becoming good at something, whether it's sports or music or reading. Now, when you're a little kid, that is a natural expression of who you are. You ask a lot of why questions. Why is this? And why is that? And how come this? And how come that? And there's an aspect of you when you're little that is open. It's just open. You have a natural curiosity, and your becoming, or your want to become more intelligent somehow, continues on and on and on until one day that thing starts to close. We don't deal with our natural curiosity. We go to school and we start learning forced education. Forced education. You got to learn to read. You got to learn to write. You got to learn how to do punctuation. You got to learn your times tables. You got to learn this. And what happens is we move from that natural aspect of internal curiosity, that natural, simple little thing that inside us says, we love to learn, we love to know things, to feeling suppressed by other people's agendas about what we must learn, what we have to learn, how we have to be responsible. And what I noticed was that I began to confuse that natural aspect of me, that natural part of me that loved to learn, with the part that was forced to learn. So, for example, let me just say this. Let's give you an example right now. When most people graduate from high school, they don't read another book ever. They don't read another book ever. And that's just alarming right away. They don't read another book ever. So then when you get to college, people will study the book and everything else that they need to book, but then they don't read another book after college. So what happens is they tell themselves, I hate to read. That's the thing, I hate to read. I'll watch a video, I'll watch this, I'll do that. But then if they receive a card or a letter from somebody that they like, or they have a crush on, or they're in love with, or it's their child, they rip that card all open excitedly and they start to read it, and suddenly they love to read. They love to read that, but they're telling their mind, I don't like to read. And so what happened was, when I figured that out, I realized I did not like to be forced to read things I had no interest in. And then I realized that when I read things I wanted to read, I was excited and I loved it and I wanted to be a part of that reading thing. And so what happens is our mind creates this story that isn't even true. The truth is, I love to read. I absolutely love it. I love to read things that I enjoy. And so what happened is, when we start learning about becoming, when we become what we envision for ourselves as what we would like to be, that's part of the seed that is planted in our soul. And the seed has to give up wanting to be a seed in order to become the plant that it's going to transform into this plant. It's going to transform into that plant. The thing that can stop that transformation is the story we tell ourselves about what we're thinking that probably isn't true. The truth is, I love to read. And people, they say, I don't like change. Well, tons of people love change, but it's transformational change that they like. They don't like forced change. We don't like when somebody forces us out of our comfort zone, whether that's through losing a job or maybe a divorce or a breakup, something like that. Those are all changes that are forced upon you. The difference between change and transformation is that transformation is your willingness to align with the divine in order to create a new possibility, to create a new life. Change can be just thrust on you. Barb says, oh, how I can relate. I love to read too. I haven't stopped long enough to count, but I'd say I've read over 100 books a year. You know what? I love to read too. I read both paper-based and digital. Me too. I read all the time now. Once I understood that I like to learn what I like to learn, man, I couldn't put the books down. And so Robert says, you're making me remember the old commercial, reading is fundamental. Yes, it is. Reading is fundamental. The story we tell ourselves, though, about reading will rob us from an education for the rest of our life. We love to read the love letter, but we remember the pain that squelched the natural curiosity, the natural human want to learn and know by being forced to learn and know. Now, though, when you're an adult, you get to pick whatever you want. You get to share in the experience of, personally, I love to read something and then go see it. Like if you read about Italy and then you go see that part of Italy, or if you read, some concept and see the speaker live, God, I love those things. I just absolutely love it. So I want to go back, though, to the fundamental question that I'm having with the epiphany with myself. It's not just reading that we fool ourselves. We become delusional in our thinking based on past experiences that have nothing to do with the present moment. And when we learn about the present moment, how we actually operate, the truth is the seed that is planted in you by the divine has to be willing to stop being a seed, sprout and grow and transform from a seed into the plant or tree that it was meant to be, that leaves it growing. And the thing that can stop that transformation from that seed into that tree, into the plant, into the flower, into whatever it was supposed to be, are these stories that we're in ourselves that are there. Hey, Lori, nice to see you guys. Thanks to everybody for being on. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. From the seeds that we have planted inside ourselves to get it to transform, that blocking there, that thing that is a weed that surrounds and tries to choke off our seed in a young place, is the stories we tell ourselves. And what I know for me is that I have to get as honest with myself as I can. And that means that I have to reflect inwardly and really sit with myself and ask myself the question, what am I telling myself about this opportunity? Because to me, we are sold so many untruthful stories as the truth, that the filter of truth has to come from you, your soul, where you are, what you're doing. The truth has to come from this deeper spot within you. And truth is a very interesting game, because truth breaks down into two kinds. The delusional kind, which is the truth we want to believe is true. it's not true, but it's the truth we want to believe is true. And because of that, we'll hang on to it because it feels good. It's our truth. Our truth is the truth that wants to be good and the actual truth. The actual truth raises consciousness, and it makes it so that you're in the force, not trying to force. There's a big difference. You're in the force, not trying to force. And if you've ever read Power versus Force by David Hawkins, if you haven't, download. You can get a free copy now. Just download it, Power versus Force on PDF, and you can read it right there. One of the most powerful books I've ever read in my life. And what he has is the scale of consciousness. And what happens when marketing copy meets delusional truth is that we get confused in our mind and we believe the delusional truth as the factual truth, as the inner truth. And that's where we've got to police ourselves, because our desires, our wants, our attachments, our beliefs, everything that we have in this area that we hope will get us what we want, oftentimes take us further away from who we are and what our core center is. We have to understand the difference between a marketing message and the actual truth. So, for example, this week on my personal page, I talked about opportunity being a doorway into the work. It's work. Opportunity is work. But right now, opportunity is sold as something that can be simple and easy and up in 30 and 60 days. There is like fast, quick, easy, convenient opportunity. And that's not the truth. There's no convenient opportunity. And if you get something convenient, you sacrifice something else. So, for example, we often cook with a microwave now. But every time we put that food in that microwave and it's convenient, we sizzle it and we pull it out of the microwave and eat it, we've killed all the nutrients. It's dead food. It's not feeding our body. And thus we sacrifice convenience. There's some sacrifice you're making with convenience there. And it's such an important thing that I'm going to read some of these. Delusion, truth, what we want to believe is true. Yes, thank you, Karen. But the thing is, we want to make sure that we're speaking, knowing, being. We must be the truth. We have to be very honest with ourselves. And this takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. When we take the moment to be present in the moment, that's like exercising a muscle, being present here in the moment. There are so many forces right now that are vying for your attention, that the world is like, it's like looking like this at the world, like where do I place my attention? Everything is vying for your attention. Bring it inside. Your attention needs to be right here. This is where discernment happens, right in these two places. This is your discernment. When we seek the advice of someone from outside ourselves and say, what's good for me? Right now they're going to say, I got this. This is good for you. Let me show you what it is. You're going to have so many choices, and maybe none of them feel right, because the choice of being present in the moment is right here. The truth is right here. The truth is inside you. It's not outside of you. So when I had that epiphany and I was thinking to myself, I usually shut my eyes. What am I telling myself? What's real about reading? Well, the truth about reading is that I love to read. But another truth is I don't like to be forced to learn something I'm not interested in. And the great thing about being an adult is that you get to learn whatever you want. You get to learn whatever is going to make you grow. That's the beauty of it. But the answer to that is always within here. The divine put the seed there. It's going to tell you what soil needs to be on it, how often it needs to be watered, and what your next best step is going to be, what you're going to need help with. So you can imagine if you believe that you don't like to read, when you first uncover that, you're going to have to retrain your mind. I do love to read. And then actually go find something that you like to read and read it. Then find something else you like to read and read it. Something else you want to learn and learn it. These things reprogram the story you're telling yourself. And pretty soon you realize, I can read anything. I love to read. I can learn anything. Wait a minute. I can learn anything. And your mind expands and you expand and you grow into becoming more great. You're letting out your greatness. You're becoming the greatness within you. There are no shortcuts to this. You can't buy your way into it. You can't fashion your way into it. You can't be sexy your way into this. You have to become the truth. You have to become that. It's got to be part of your being the truth, not just acknowledging that truth is out there. You have to be the truth. This power, this force, that's what builds true long-term success. Not just, I'm trying to move you from short-term happiness to long-term happiness, short-term success to long-term success. Long-term success has foundational principles that allow you to have success in your life because you have skill sets, the skill sets of making things. It doesn't mean bad things won't happen to you if you move to long-term happiness. It is the powers inside you that you get to use. The biggest powers, your attention, where it goes, your attitude, how it does everything, your point of view. The biggest superpower you have is that any day, any second, any time, you can shift your focus. You can look in a different direction. What you focus on materializes. What you focus on grows. Whatever stories you say, you are a reflection of what you believe about you and your life and your possibilities. And so these things that are you are precious. They're amazing. And you have to meet them with all of you, with all your heart, with all your love. Everything. It doesn't have to be perfect because perfect doesn't exist. It has to be authentic. So when we take a look at a Monet or a Van Gogh painting, it's not perfect. It's authentic. The authentic piece of art is his view of that. There is no perfection. There's only authenticity in the work. When you write the song, it's the same way. It's got to come from you. Be you is a part of you. I'm going to check in over here for a second. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Letting you out of your greatness inside. That's right. Move from short-term success and happiness to long-term success and happiness. Thank you. Karen says, move from short-term happiness to long-term happiness. That is the success of what we're working on today. When you get to the point where you are celebrating you, which is why Friday is so important. And you guys, somebody put in there some things they want to celebrate today. This is why celebrating you is so important as you begin to grow and learn and move out into the world in this way. Let's get some people out here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to be authentic. That's correct. You guys, I see you on the call there. Somebody get on. I know you're on the coffee break show, but do me a favor, chime in and say what it is that you did this week that you want to celebrate about you. I did 5 lives this week without any interruption from the internet, and I'm really excited about that. The storms went by and they didn't knock anything out. And Facebook had a pretty good week as well, and that was worthy of celebrating. And so somebody put into someone type in there something they're worth celebrating for. Our Smart Life Club said our Facebook ads got approved. Yes, that is something to celebrate. Our Facebook ads got approved. I know that sounds little, but you know what? When you have a problem with Facebook, wow, it's like David and Goliath, isn't it? And it's taking, things off the ground there. So that's really, really good. Yeah, look at all those emotions and laughing. Thank you, everybody. I need those. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. So I want to say that when you get to the point where you can celebrate who you are and be the truth of you and be the transformation you wish to seek, you become your Dream 100 person. And so in this Friday, when I take a look at this, if we go from short-term happiness to long-term happiness, find your truth. Find in you what you actually like. Don't believe your mind, but believe your heart and its intuition and what way it's telling you to go or grow. And so in this transformational coffee break show, where we talk about things that help us become more successful in life, let's see, wait a minute. Amen. Okay, you know it. Be the transformation you wish to seek. Yes, thank you. Being the transformation we wish to seek is everything. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show today. I see it was a very quiet Friday. Usually people are like, let me tell you, let me tell you. But I want to share with you the epiphany that you are more than you think you are. And every human soul has these amazing gifts, these amazing abilities. Everybody, including you. Don't let them atrophy inside you. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Your attention, when it's inside, in with you, tells you a lot of data. And I know right now that you can look this way and look this way and look this way and have the world be all kinds of excited. Hey, Suzanne, nice to see you. You can have the world be all kinds of excited right now, grabbing your attention with sparkly golden things that will promise you a life of happiness and promise you this and promise you that. But happiness isn't out there. Happiness is in here. Happiness is a place that rests inside you, inside your soul, inside your heart and mind, working all together. That's where happiness is. It's not outside in the public, like, if you do this for me, I'll be happy. Or when you buy this, you'll be happy. Or when you get that short-term happiness. We want to get to the point where it's long-term happiness right here, right now in the present moment. And that is the place where everything consistently is. Karen says, after a challenging week with Facebook and Comcast, I'm still smiling and I haven't killed anyone. That's good. I'm glad. That's so good. Happiness is a place. Everybody is stopping to say hi to Suzanne. I don't know what it is, Suzanne. You get on the show and everybody's like, Suzanne, you know, so everybody say hi to Suzanne. There you go. Let's see. This is definitely something to celebrate. Thank you. Yes. So I want you to have a really great weekend. I want you to celebrate a lot, do a lot, have a lot. And remember, everything you do, everything you can learn, everything is a natural human aspect. Go find your childlike curiosity. Go find that and add to it. Go find that childlike curiosity and say, what do I like to do? What do I want to become? And become that. Start the journey of becoming the seed inside you. Mwah! All right. I love you guys. I will see you all next Monday. Have a great weekend. 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, because it's Mountain Daylight Time. And East Coast at noon, West Coast at 8 o'clock. This is Vickie Helm. This has been the Coffee Break Show. I'll see you on Monday. Rock and roll. Have a great weekend. Mwah! I love you all.